Hello everybody, my name is Ella Scheisner and welcome to the Canadian Money Talk, the channel about Canadian investing and personal finance. Please like and subscribe. I record 2 videos per week, so make sure you ring the notification bell to get notified each time one comes out. I have recently received a private equity investment opportunity and wanted to walk you through my approach to investing in it. Please note I have done a private equity video I'm quite proud of, link in the upper right, and so you can get some background on private equity there. I have previously purchased into 3 projects with Nationwide, none of which have paid me any money yet. One self-storage facility at 1223 East Bender Street, Vancouver, which is up and running and about 45% capacity. A second self-storage and a car wash at 2055 Boundary Road, which has begun construction, and a third self-storage and car wash in White Rock at 2337 King George Boulevard, Surrey, which is being rezoned. This new opportunity is also with Nationwide. All of the Nationwide investments that I mentioned are way behind schedule compared to what we were told at the pitch meetings. The Nationwide developer blames the holdups on City Hall, but I say that as a professional developer, they should know that City Hall will take 3 times as long as their worst nightmares. I unfortunately missed out on a car wash and self-storage in Kamloops by Nationwide, which is apparently up and running much sooner than the others, and it's paying out cash to the investors. More on how the cash part works in these investments later. Nationwide is great at keeping its investors updated and showing us pictures of construction, and so I still like to use them. And when an opportunity came up for just a car wash in Coquitlam, BC at 1035 Lougheed Highway, I jumped at the chance and reserved 40,000 of investment room with my salesperson. I'll describe how this particular investment works. Each opportunity is different. Keep in mind that private equity is riskier than publicly traded stocks because of a lack of disclosure and of government oversight, which is pretty slack. And I have had a couple of private equity investments with other companies go wrong. Please see that private equity video I mentioned. Before investing in any private equity opportunity, you generally get 2 documents. One is an offering memorandum, or OM, which describes the business model, risk, structure, and so on. It is long. The one I got also told me Nationwide needs a hefty investment, but nothing outrageous. It's relatively small when you compare it to other private equity opportunities. You also get a term sheet where everything is summarized. Keep in mind that all the numbers are what the company expects. It's not necessarily what we'll get. If things go wrong, you get less or nothing. You are sometimes lucky just to get your initial investment back. But companies that do poorly don't stay in business very long because nobody will invest with them. The 4-page term sheet summarizes everything. I'll take you through that. This investment will try to pay out 8.25% annually to the early investors. The ones who get in later pay more for their shares and their returns are less, as you can see from the other return numbers. That's why I was in a hurry to reserve my $40,000 investing room. Any profits beyond the 8.25% annually, the investors actually get 70% of, which is great compared to other investments profit sharing. Most share 30 to 40% once you get past the original hurdle rate. Note that the company running the investment and the car wash get paid for its services. There's a 2% commission, so you get 70% of what is left over after all of that. So they make sure that they get paid up front. What is important is that the money is paid in arrears. What that means is that I get paid 8.25% back to the date I gave them my money. So if it takes them a long time for them to finish the car wash and get it up and running, I'll get a nice big lump sum once the car wash is completed and stable and running at roughly 500 cars per day. The business model on all of the Nationwide investments is as follows. They get the investor dollars, they buy the land, sometimes those two are switched. They rezone the land so they can put up a commercial building on it. They put up the building. They get the self-storage and/or car wash up and running, let's say at a 90% occupancy for the self-storage and 500 cars per day for the car wash. They refinance the now far more valuable property. They pay the investors back to the day they invested the money. And then they run the business for roughly 5 years, paying me 8.25% and 70% of anything beyond that as a return of capital, meaning I'm getting my own money back, so there's no taxes. Then the property gets sold for a higher price than bought for, and I get my money back, taxed as capital gains, which makes the whole thing perfect for a non-registered or a corporate account. Note that the return of capital lowers the cost for me, so it is as if I invested $24,000, for example, not $40,000 once I get taxed on the capital gains. On this sheet, you can see how the return and price of the units go together. There's also a business plan and pricing summarized on the term sheet. One of the downsides of private equity in general is that it is long-winded. Depending on how long it takes to build and stabilize a car wash, I won't get any money until 2023 or more likely 2024. I've started taking the worst case scenarios on all of these and adding more time even to the worst case. Nationwide will run the car wash for 5 years or so and then sell it, at which time I'll get my $40,000 back, plus hopefully more, taxed as capital gains as I've mentioned. Note the other bad points of private equity. The minimum is $10,000, and if you want your money back, you may have to pay penalties or there are limits on what I can get back. I basically count on the cash as gone for 5 to 7 years. Some investments are shorter time frame, 2 to 3 years, for example. On February 6, 2021, I took a trip to the location as part of my usual weekly bike ride. I just had to go out of my way for 20 minutes to get there. These videos are what I observed and my thoughts. I am here on site at a Nationwide car wash investment. This is for the private equity investment number 5 with Nationwide. I'm here in Coquitlam, just off the Lougheed Highway. You can see that in the background here. The blue building there is the Coquitlam IKEA, and it looks like, as you can see from the fenced off area, that a former Boston Pizza will become the site of a car wash, which Nationwide is building. They normally specialize in self-storage areas, but I think because of the limited space at this location, they've decided just to do a car wash. So I'm looking at investing probably $40,000. I already have all the forms from my salesperson, and I am just checking out the site. Biked here from Surrey. I'm here on the other side. This is the front from Lougheed. As you can see, we're here at Lougheed and Woolridge, and there's the big sold sign. The area is definitely in a prime property. The traffic here is unbelievable on a Saturday. So there are 2 entrances. There's one over here from Lougheed, and then from the other side, they are right at an intersection. Again, Lougheed and Woolridge. So they should be able to have possibly an entrance directly from Woolridge, or at worst there's a street in the back that if you go up Woolridge, then turn right and turn right again, you should be able to get to the property. The idea is to leverage both sides of Lougheed. And further in behind me, which you wouldn't be able to see, but there is the IKEA, which gets a lot of traffic, and you also get the Trans-Canada Highway. So the location could really not be better. So now that I've scoped that out, I feel better about the property. So you can see that we're at Lougheed and we're crossing over an overpass that's going over the Trans-Canada Highway. And there is another car wash here, maybe competition, but it is very well hidden and away from the road. So I don't really think it should be a big issue. I did end up writing a check to Nationwide for the $40K. It'll be years before I see that money again, if ever. So I hope you found my private equity analysis and research interesting. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. If you have any requests on what you would like me to cover in future videos, please put that into the comment section. Please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and may you have a profitable day.